Well, good afternoon again, everybody, and welcome to the United Regional Chambers update. We try each week to bring on a couple of guests to keep you a little bit informed of what's going on in the local area and to try and find ways we can help. This week, I have two guests with me. Cathleen DeSimone, who is the director of Bridgewater State University's Attleboro campus in the College of Continuing Studies. And we have Jen Reid, who is the Director of Professional and Corporate and Community Education for Bridgewater State University. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks for having us.
Okay. Let's start out. Let's learn a little bit about each other. Kathleen, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, as you know, Jack, I live in Attleboro, approximately 2 miles away from my office, which is located inside the Bristol Community College Attleboro campus building. Bridgewater State has been in Attleboro since 2009 when BCC opened its doors. We are there both to complement what BCC does in terms of giving their students avenues to continue and obtain bachelors. We're also there to serve other area residents who have some college credits and want to return to earn their degree or want to start at working towards their bachelor's degree. So we've been in the community for a while, and we're constantly looking to expand and serve more and more of the residents in the area. Jen?
Sure. So I'm here down on Cape Cod in Sandwich, Massachusetts. In addition to my role as the Director of Professional, Corporate, and Community.
Right. And Jen, how about you?
Oh, sure. So in addition to my role as the Director of Professional, Corporate, and Community Education for Bridgewater State University, I'm also the Director of our Cape Cod campus, which is located in South Yarmouth. And so very similar to what Kathleen does over at the Attleboro campus is we help students, post-traditional students, gain access to higher education beyond the associate's degree level. So we help transfer students come to campus, make sure that they get credit for all the previous college experiences that they've had, and then help them to be successful to earn a bachelor's degree and or a graduate degree. But I have this new role that I've been working on. So with that, I'm working on helping our faculty get connected to organizations like chambers of commerces and trade organizations and nonprofit coalitions, et cetera, in order for the people in the community to gain access to the knowledge and research of our professional faculty.
Right, and we've talked a little bit in the past about some of these professional staff that you're going to make available to some of our chamber members, but also the general public. Can you give us an idea of what some of these subjects will be covering?
Absolutely. So we are, again, looking to connect with business organizations like Chamber of Commerce's. One of the topics that's been of great interest is how the business community has been impacted by this global pandemic. So some of the topics that we have faculty who have expertise in is around the supply chain in the COVID-19 era, also around service operations during COVID-19, economic impact of the environment in this pandemic, impact on small business, on manufacturing. We also have faculty who can provide education around financial education, so individual, financial planning during this pandemic. And, for people that are experiencing crises in their finances, we have a faculty member with a lot of expertise around that. And she definitely will be part of our lineup that we'll be offering to the United Regional Chamber. And then we also have faculty who can present on leadership issues, corporate social responsibility, organizational communication. And we also have a great, a lot of faculty who have expertise in health and wellness in the workplace specifically. And I think that that's, relatively timely to what we're all experiencing now with folks getting back into the workplace and the concerns that people have around their health and the health of their loved ones at this time. So we are hoping to connect those faculty to organizations like the Chamber so that we can have, robust discussions about how everyone can feel safe and healthy in the workplace. I think we're having a little bit of technical issues with Jack.
All right, I'm having a little trouble getting a little bit choppiness here, so if I interrupt, I apologize.
No, I was done, Jack. You can go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on now. We normally don't have this issue. So will some of this stuff be right out of the Attleboro campus, or is it going to be?
Well, Jack, let me just
some of these going to be out of the Attleboro campus, or will they be out of the main campus in Bridgewater?
Their Attleboro campus has been and continues to be closed. BCC has their classes are all online, so we cannot get into the building at the moment. These are all virtual, correct, Jen?
Yes, all of our programs, for the immediate future will be virtual, and we have platforms that allow us to have discussions like we're having here right now, relatively easily, and we're finding that the attendance is very well. People are looking to still gain access to information, and some folks are finding it even easier to do so from their comfort of their home or their office.
We had last week, we had somebody from New Hope on, and they were saying the same thing. More and more people are involved because they are at home and they have their own computers that they can use. Mm-hmm. So give me an example of a couple of the classes or the seminars, workshops, whatever we want to call them, that you're going to be offering out over the next few weeks.
Well, we have, like I said, some of the topics that I mentioned previously, I would think that folks
don't know what's going on with the connection today, folks.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, Jack? It seems like Kathleen and I's connection is pretty clear.
Yeah, you're good with me, Jen.
So maybe Kathleen can host and I'll be your guest.
Jack seems to be delayed.
No,
that's all right,
Jack.
Kathleen, jump in there. Take over.
Well, Jen was just going to explain some of the classes that we have offered and have planned in terms of for the chambers and area businesses. Jen, did you want to continue your answer?
Sure. Yeah, I think some of the immediate topics that we would like to explore with your audience would be the economic impact and opportunities in this COVID-19 environment. I think that would be one that we'd want to move forward with right away and we'd like to offer. Additionally, the one, a workshop about financial education, personal financial education and planning, I think would be of great relevance to your audience at this time. And then additionally, I think some of the offerings that we have around supply chain and service operations. We have a faculty member, Dr. Patricio, who has expertise in supply chain, and he really gives a strong foundation to how the supply chain works, because you need to know how it works and what the foundation of it is in order to understand how it's been disrupted and what impacts the disruption has. I know we're all facing that disruption of, I know here on the Cape, it seems like statewide, you can't get lumber. We all have the normal shortages of the household products, but it's having even a bigger impact. And I know that that's impacting both businesses and homeowners, folks that are looking to expand dining outside, are having a hard time getting lumber to be able to do that, in a way that's, accessible to their staff. So another one too that I mentioned previously was around the health and wellness. I think that people's anxiety, people are on edge, and I think it would make sense for us to have offer something to the chamber audience around that, especially as folks start to come back into the workplace and the impact that all of our anxiety is having on our productivity and our tone in the workplace and our general ability to be able to do our jobs effectively in this time. I'm sure we've all gone through the moments of feeling productive or energized maybe at the beginning, like I've got this, and then we've had our our lags where we're feeling not so productive, or that it's just hard to get settled in a work from home environment. So I think something around health and wellness in the workplace would work really well.
Agreed. And Jen, can you just let Jack and the audience know that these programs that we're offering to local chambers and businesses are free in terms of you don't have to pay to participate if they're for chamber members and other groups, but we're not charging people to participate in the programs.
Exactly. One of the big priorities right now for the institution of Bridgewater is to be of service to the community. This is unprecedented in our 178-year history. We haven't had such a dramatic disruption of our in-person classes, and we want to make sure that we're being a good steward and to our students, but also to the greater community. One of the things that Kathleen and I work really hard on is our senior college, which is a non-credit enrichment program for seniors. So people over the age of 50 or 55. And we started that just last September, and it was it got off to a great start. It was very robust. We had a really great engagement, and then it came to a screeching halt this past March when we were supposed to start our spring semester. And so we pivoted and we began offering those classes online to that audience. And we had some concerns about whether or not a senior population would be able to get access to Zoom and would really even want to participate in that way. And luckily, we had great success. And this fall, we're planning on offering 30 courses to that population. So that's another thing that people in your audience may want to share with their loved ones or with a neighbor, that we have these non-credit enrichment educational opportunities for that population. And we're moving forward with that with, great enthusiasm. And our president is really supportive of that. And now that it's online, it's accessible to anyone really in the whole country. So that's
the senior colleges are not free. There's a nominal charge. True. They're particularly important, right, Jen, for community engagement, because although we may be apart and some of us alone at home, it's important for people to still connect and to still be actively using their minds in productive ways and not just stress and worry. So these classes are a big step in that direction.
For sure. That's been probably the most rewarding thing professionally that I've been a part of, is being able to connect with, seniors who are actively engaged in learning. And it's just been a great way for us to stay connected with that population. And in learning is really the best way to stay active and, stay away any depression or anxiety that you might have by being consumed with the news. At this time. So that's been really fun. And those courses, we have everything from literature to art, culture. We have classes on racial justice coming up in the fall, on dance, on genealogy. We even have a class on leadership, reflections of leadership. So we have a great slate of classes for that planned as well.
Right. And I think while we're talking about classes, we should talk about Bridgewater's plan for the fall. As you know, there are some colleges that are completely online. Some colleges are doing a hybrid approach. And Bridgewater has done that. The way I understand it at the moment, although it's all subject to change, I suppose, depending upon the virus, Bridgewater is going to offer students housing. There will be students in the dorms. Most of the classes, I think 200 of our 2,700 sections, 200 of them will be some kind of in-person and online, but the remainder of the classes, the overwhelming majority, are fully online. That's your understanding, Jen, too?
That is, yes.
Yeah.
We are really working hard to have classes in person that really need to be in person. For example, a pottery class or a drawing class or a laboratory, biology course.
Yeah.
So certain courses will have an in-person component that really will enhance the learning, obviously, that it can be as hands-on as possible. But everything is being done with very careful consideration for social distancing and making sure that our faculty and students are able to be as spread out as, safe as possible, and really have that on-campus experience in a way that's, makes everyone feel really secure as far as their health goes.
And I'm going to give a completely biased plug for the university, because I think this current situation, in light of the uncertainty, and everything else going on, this is a huge opportunity for people looking to continue their education despite everything else, which they absolutely should. But they can do it in an intelligent, affordable, convenient way. And that way is Bridgewater. As a state university, the tuition is fantastic. The school is flexible and supportive and accessible. So for people who are on the fence about going or coming back, yes, do it. Now is the time. Do not wait. One of the things we're learning in this pandemic is that education gives you choices, which we already knew, but that you need more choices as jobs come and go and things change so quickly. Education is the constant. So if you're not sure what to do or where to go, start at the state university. You'll be very, very pleasantly surprised and pleased at the opportunity. Would you agree, Jen, that it's a great deal?
For sure. And, I also want to emphasize our connection with the local community colleges, especially, Bristol Community College, Massasoit, and Cape Cod Community College. We have really strong relationships. We encourage students who are at the community colleges to finish their degree so that they can take advantage of the benefits of transferring. There's a whole slew of benefits to students who complete their associate's degree at one of the local institutions because they can transfer seamlessly into the university. They'll come in as a junior. There's even some tuition benefits if they have a certain GPA. So we have that strong commitment too, that it's even more affordable to start off, do the 2 years at the community colleges and then transfer to a state public university like Bridgewater and really have that residential experience that so many parents want their family members to have. But it's also transfer friendly too. So if you're an adult and you're thinking about coming back to college to finish that degree, maybe it's something you've always wanted to do and you're just like, I haven't had the chance to do that. I would say now more than ever, it's the time. We've frozen our tuition. We're really making accommodations for folks around being flexible and transferring in as many credits as humanly possible. There's a lot of flexibility. Our staff and faculty, our advisors really go above and beyond to help folks, post-traditional learners, people coming back to school after being away, to make it as friendly to them as possible, so that that level of intimidation of being back in school isn't as severe. And right now everything's online, so you don't have to rush from work after a long day or think about childcare. I mean, literally, you could probably you could take all of your classes online and have that flexibility if that's what you're interested in.
It's funny. I mean, no one would ask for the situation, but every challenge presents equal opportunities. And having classes online now that you can take basically anywhere at any time is a huge opportunity for a lot of people. But I wanted to get back. You mentioned the residential college experience, which I believe is fundamental. It's not just going to class. It's everything else. Bridgewater is letting people live in the dorms. They can choose either a single or a double, but no more than two. And I understand that Bridgewater is going to have regular testing and all sorts of preventative equipment for the students who are living on campus. But that opportunity is still available and super affordable at Bridgewater State. So if students want to live on campus, they can do that safely.
Yep. And, I think one of the things that is important, obviously, around going to college is the socialization part of it, and how you develop as a human being by having those relationships with folks that you might live with or interact with outside of the classroom. So as an institution, we're working really hard to still have opportunities of service, of social opportunities that are being done in a reimagined way. One of the programs that I've been working on over the last couple months is a pen pal program. So we connected Bridgewater State University students with folks that are seniors in our community, and they've been writing back and forth now, getting to know one another. And our students, we had 65 students who signed up within 3 days to do that. So our students want to be still enacting the values of our institution, which is around service and social justice. So that's been really positive to see that we've just continued to innovate as much as we can to make sure that, we're staying connected with the community.
Agreed, very much so. And in the whole community of varying ages, the personal and the private, businesses and transfer students, which brings us back to the United Regional Chamber, serving area businesses. As you know, small businesses make up the largest employer in the country. I'm greatly concerned about the impact on small businesses in the current situation. So it's more important now than ever that we support them and help them to make any adjustments necessary to survive and thrive in the current situation and beyond. So to the extent that Bridgewater can do that, we are happy to do so. We should probably, Jen, drive people to the school's website, wrap it up, and thank Jack and the United Regional Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity and for ACS for hosting this. Jen, do you want to give them the contact info?
Sure. Again, I'm Jennifer Reid. I'm the Director of Professional, Corporate, and Community Education. I'd love to speak with you if you have any questions about how the college can be of help to your organization or your business, or if you have a training need that's for your organization. We have faculty who are able to do contract training for individual organizations. So please reach out to us. You can find us online at bridgew.edu. And through our website, if you just plug in my name or Kathleen's name, you can get in touch with us relatively easily through the website. And we look forward to having continued conversations with you.
Thank you, Jen. Always nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Jack. Sorry about the tech issues. We're glad that you invited us on.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you so
See you
much,
soon.
everyone.